Well, I just can't help myself at the moment. It was only yesterday, funny enough, we were looking at World Cup Soccer 94, and I was trying to work out where it resided in the Pinside Top 100. And I looked, it was 65. And whilst I was doing that, something caught my attention just underneath. It was actually the pinball machine at number 66. And that was Fishtails. I thought, yes, Fishtails. Now, there is a game that I need to appraise. So, you know what? I couldn't help myself. I thought I'd jump down here now and just do a very, very quick video. We won't get a second opinion on Fishtails. Everybody thinks it's good, don't they? Don't you all think Fishtails is an absolutely brilliant game? But I thought it might be interesting to pop that up there and see where it resides in the Gonzo's Pinball Flipperama Top 50 Pinball Machines. For those of you that don't know, the entry rule is that it has to have lived in this house. If you don't know that, where have you been for the other episodes? I think we're on episode 8 now. Go and check the other ones out and you'll figure out how those ones got up on the board there. At the moment, we have Attack from Mars in first position. Elvira's House of Horrors, second. Champion Pub, third. World Cup Soccer went in yesterday's episode. Went in fourth place. Avengers Infinity Quest, fifth. Medieval Madness, sixth. Judge Dredd, seventh. Ghostbusters, eighth. And Popeye, ninth. Fishtails will go and make up the top 10. Obviously, there'll be more games that get added to it, and some of those titles will get pushed down and pushed out of position. Some of them are going to get pushed out of position today, quite frankly. What I've got to do is also just want to thank Mark. Yesterday's video, I said that somebody had mentioned in the comments that every time we accrue 10 games on the leaderboard, perhaps do a little refresh video, see if they need to be juggled around a little bit and just do a little update. So thank you very much for that, Mark. I think it was very, very decent of you, my friend, and sorry for forgetting who you are. Also, just want a little bit of housekeeping just quickly. I just want to thank Dale as well. Dale, basically, not in the super chat, in the thanks at the bottom of the video yesterday, Dale made a donation to the site. Mate, you really don't have to do that. In many respects, I'd rather you sort of didn't, because as generous as it was, YouTube are just going to take 30% of your money and then give the rest to the channel anyway. So thank you very much. You don't need to do it. I don't do this for money at all. I do this because I love it, and doing a channel has given me access to a lot of great machines. So thank you very much. What I would like to do, though, as a thank you for doing that, is the contact details, for Gonzo's Pinball Flipperama. They're all over the... either in the description under this video, or they're just on the home page of the YouTube channel. Send me your address, mate, and I'll bung you one of these fine Gonzo Pinball Flipperama, I don't know whether you can see them on camera, coasters, which have been made... I was upside down. It's been made by Collywobbles and my friend Collywobbles. Basically, I think half of this cave, every sign, anything you can see here, has probably been made by Collywobbles. Anything, any ball laying guide, any slingshot protected on a pinball machine, any sign, the Gonzo's Top 50 at the top there, that sign there is made by Collywobbles. Everything is made by Collywobbles, actually. I'll send you out one of those as a thank you, mate. But honestly, really, there's no need. Right, Fishtails. Funny enough, so today I haven't played any pinball today, and just to give you an update on how things are at Flipperama Towers, I have now collapsed down Sopranos, which is ready for John to come and take back. So thank you very much, John, for loaning me that. Loved Sopranos much more than I thought I would. Be interesting when that goes up there, actually. Godzilla is there now, which I can play. That's available to play. And there are two Foo Fighters. Don't ask. But my point is, there are 3 games set up and ready to play at the moment. But I haven't played pinball today. And I was typing on the forum earlier, on Pinball Info forum, and I was just saying how much I love classic games. I'm really getting a love for those older classic games. And Keith at New Forest Pinball put a wonderful Flash Gordon up for sale yesterday. And it was beautiful, and somebody was asking on there why Flash Gordon. Was just asking questions about Flash Gordon and why that was one of the more sought after sort of 1981 Bally classics, if you like. And I was just writing on there that actually I don't have a classic game here at the moment because 8 Ball Deluxe, which the restoration of 8 Ball Deluxe is happening. That's at Ants. Hopefully you're going to follow that series. And because I don't have one, I probably would have played pinball today if I'd have had a classic game in there, because they're quick and they're easy, and you just switch them on, you have a quick game while you put the kettle on or something like that. They're just great games. I've got a real love for these classic games now, which is growing all the time. And I thought, if I'd have had a classic game here, I probably would have had a game of pinball today. Have I got 20 minutes to allocate to Godzilla. I'm making myself sound like a better player than I actually am. No, probably no. But I would have played Fishtails. For that same reason, Fishtails is just a fun game. It's over. It's all over pretty quickly, particularly if you're me. But what a game. What a magnificent game it is. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've got slightly different criteria to the Pinside Top 100. This is very much my own personal Top 50. I'd be very interested once we finish this to find out what your Top 50 are as well. Or even just your Top 10 is going to be interesting. But I don't always think the Pinside Top 100 reflects what I think of games. But it does something different. I love Pinside. But it does things on back glass artwork, audio quality, audio variation, longevity, lighting, playfield artwork. I've got to be honest with you, I couldn't care less what the back glass looks like, what the cabinet looks like. It could be ugly as hell, but still be a really good game. Like Congo, for instance, would be a really good example. Or Sopranos. Oh, Sopranos is an ugly-looking game, right? But wow, what a brilliant game it is. No, I'm basing my rankings and ratings upon different things like fun. How addictive is the game? Is it humorous? Does it have charm and personality? What are the toys and mechanisms like? Is it an approachable game? What are the shots, the positions? Are the rules easy to understand? Are there achievable goals? Is it rewarding? The other thing is, I mean, do I miss it? Do I regret it leaving? And I think what I could say is, do I miss Fishtails? I really do. I think there's always going to be room. If you've got more than one or two pinball machines, I think there's got to be room for a Fishtails in your collection somewhere. And they made a load of them, actually. About 13,000. Am I right on that? Is that right? I heard that once. I may be wrong on that. In fact, I'm actually going to have a look now. I'm on Pinside. If you don't mind, just stick with me, because it's a Mark Ritchie game. I know that much. I'll just click on Fishtails. 13,640 produced. So Mark Ritchie's done this game. Steve Ritchie's brother, obviously. No relation to Lionel Ritchie. But Mark Ritchie's also done Pulp Fiction, hasn't he? So that's going to be really, really interesting. Anyway, let's forget about that. Forget about Pulp Fiction. Forget about Lionel Ritchie. And let's forget about Indiana Jones. And let's just deal with Fishtails. Right, okay, so let's go back to those criteria. So I've just popped it off the screen there. Is Fishtails fun? You're damn right it's fun. Surprised you asked, actually. Fishtails is incredible fun. It's just wonderful. The bit at the end when it does the music after you finish your game, even though I've lost the ball, and technically I've just lost, all three balls have drained, the game's beaten me. Probably slightly different to that, but it feels like a bit of country music. I'm just smiling. I can't help but smile at the game. I think it's wonderful. I don't ever feel ripped off by the game, even if it doesn't make it all the way up the ramps. You've got the boat in the middle of the playfield with the ramps, which does a sort of a U-shape, figure of eight shape, if you like. Even when it doesn't quite make it up there and it rolls back down, it drains. And a ball does drain a lot on Fishtails, by the way. It's quite a brutal game. I don't mind. It's fine. I let it go. But funnily enough, I was playing Roadshow the other day, and I think it's at the back of Roadshow is Ted. And I think you have to hit Ted 5 times, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then you can start locking the ball for multi-ball on Roadshow. Now, it asks you to hit that. It asks you to hit the barrier. I think it might be a bulldozer in front of Ted. So the game wants you to hit that. So you hit it and then it drains the ball. I think, well, hold on a second. I've done an accurate shot. I don't want to be punished for hitting an accurate shot, right? I don't feel that Fishtails punishes you for hitting an accurate. If you get it slightly wrong, you're going to lose the ball. But if you hit your shots well, you're not going to lose the ball on Fishtails. Oh, I absolutely love it. Is it addictive? It's crazily addictive. It really is. Humour, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. The whole thing about stretching the truth and telling a lie and making how big was it, and making the fish sound bigger than it was. It's like a fisherman's tale, isn't it? Fish tales. That's what it's about. Of course, there's even great humour on the side cabinet, on the artwork there with the guy out on his fishing boat. It's magnificent. I really do. There's humour all over that game. I think it's lovely in terms of charm and personality. It's packed. It's oozing with it. It's packed full of charm and personality. It really is. Again, I said this when I was talking about World Cup Soccer yesterday when I was speaking about the game. I had a smile on my face. And Fishtails is wonderful. The more I speak about these games, I had the same with Champion Pub actually. I speak about this game. I think, hold on, why did I think Fishtails? Hold on, why don't I have a Fishtails now? But yeah, look, you have to let things go in order to try new games, right? There's just no way without me letting games go that I would have had 35, 40 games that I've had through this house to enable me to play different games. So some of them have to go, but so much charm, so much personality on it. Toys and mechanisms. Okay, so you've got the big fish at the top. That's the topper. If you haven't got the topper, then you don't have it. I guess that's not part of the mechanisms. It's brilliant. Come on. Absolutely love it. But actually, I really like the fishing reel. I think the fishing reel with a ball locks into it is a really good use of that. If you think, well, there's actually it's just a wheel mechanism. I guess there's a wheel mechanism on the ball launch on Popeye, isn't there? There'll be numerous games that have it, I'm sure. But it just works well. I like the way the ball lock's in there. It's great to have the fishing rod on the inside of the playfield. It's a toy. It's a pinball moment. It absolutely is. And so is that fish on top. I think it's really, really good. In terms of, other toys, I'm not packed full of toys. I think that's the case. But the boat just works, doesn't it? It absolutely works. But one thing I would say is because it is a brutal game, Fishtails. When I had a Fishtails here, mine didn't have the lightning flippers on it. It had the standard flippers on it. And I loved it all the more for that. There's no doubt about it. It is a tough game. You put those on, the game becomes easier. But I'm also in no doubt I enjoyed the game more because of it. I call it chicken kormeritis. And let me explain this. Chicken korma, right? So you go out with a curry. You go out for a curry with your mates and you try and order a chicken korma. And you get derided for it. You're less of a man. You are less of a man if you have a chicken korma. Why aren't you having something more hot? Why aren't you having something more spicy? You've got to test your manliness. Do you know what I say? If you want a chicken korma, you eat a chicken korma. Mine's a lamb booner, just in case you're asking or buying. I find the same with a lot of pinball. You know what? If you want to put a game of pinball onto 4 balls, you do it if it makes it easier for you. You want to put some better flippers in there or longer flippers, whatever the case may be, you do it. Fishtails at the moment, the price fluctuates on Fishtails. I think in the UK at the moment, I think when prices got really inflated during COVID, I think there were maybe Fishtails going for I don't know, maybe close to £4,000, some of them. And I'm not talking about Davy Stumblaw's wonderful, gorgeous Fishtails. With I think it had a £500 coin door on it, actually. But so that was different. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking sort of, a standard Fishtails, maybe. We're going for about £3,500. I think prices have dropped probably down to about the £3,000 mark now and probably a little bit less. My point being, whether it's £2,500, £3,000 or £3,500, if you're paying £3,000 for something, then you get to decide what flippers you have on it. I'm pretty sure of that. And I enjoyed it all the more when it had the longer flippers on. It was an absolutely great game. So I'm sorry if that's chicken kormeritis or sacrilege. That's not the worst sacrilege on the channel. The worst sacrilege, as I've been told, is medieval madness. Is being so low down on there. Look, let me get this right. Medieval madness is not going to finish up at 45th. All right, on the board. That's just not going to happen. A lot of the games I despise have not gone up there yet. So, she despise is a strong word, isn't it? I won't have a smile on my face when I'm talking about them. That's for sure. Okay, toys and mechs. We've discussed that. Is the game approachable? It is. It's totally approachable. There's a big fish on the top. I don't know if that makes it approachable, but it is approachable. It looks fun. Oh, there's the fan kicking in. You hear it? I put the game on. I put a game on for you guys, a bit of eye candy in the background. Do you like those Collie-Wobble's lights, actually? You can see them. Probably can't. I've got the... Anyway, don't worry. Don't worry about what's setting the cameras on. You don't need to know. You only want to know about Pinball Machine. Anyway, that's the fan you can hear. I do actually have I'm digressing. I do have Pin Monk fans for that. My words, I've done one. I think I did Aerosmith. I did one in Elvira. My words, they take a long time to do. It's a bit of a hassle, isn't it? Changing the old Pin Monk fan. It's not a 5-minute job. So I've got one. I'll do it at some point. Anyway, approachable game. Fishtails, massively approachable, and people tend to love it. Okay, what I would say is, this sort of feeds into rewarding frustrating. It can be frustrating. Brand new pinball players can find Fishtails frustrating, and they do tend to walk. That's why I wouldn't have the lightning flippers on it. They do tend to have a minute-long game. They drain it and they get frustrated. You want to give them some encouragement. If you can get people playing fishtails and hitting the ramps, they are such rewarding shots, and I think you can get people hooked. In terms of sort of a feel of a shot, a rewarding shot, the feedback on a shot, if you want, those ramps on the boats on fishtails are as good as anything. I really do. That there's a wonderful satisfaction to be had from hitting the boat on fishtails, and particularly if you can hit it enough times that will then get you to be able to hit the left orbit shot to sort of to catch your fish, basically. It's a wonderful, wonderful game. Really good. Yeah, totally approachable. The shots, I mean, I've just described, you know, even if you had no other shots apart from those, I mean, they're really, really good. The left-hand orbit, as I say, is a key component of the game, a key shot. But actually, the right orbit, if you hit that, that's really good for just for increasing your game and building things up, and which again will sort of tie into the captive ball, which is the middle of the boat. I think that's really good for sort of increasing your modes and then get into video mode. Video mode, I haven't talked about video mode much actually, and in these games, in this top 50, video mode on fishtails, bloody cool, right? Really cool. Hitting the jet skis and hitting the boats, I think that's really, really good. Absolutely love that. The scoop for multi-ball, the ball lock. So yeah, the ball lock for scoop is, that's really, really difficult. I've got to say, I find that quite difficult and sort of fraught with danger, really. It is quite a dangerous game. You start letting that roll down from there and bounce around in the slings, it can become quite difficult. I love the thing in the top about telling a lie as well. I haven't said it's about the truth and the lie and lying about the fish. It's all great. It all really ties into it. The rules, I think they're easy. I do think they're easy enough. There are easier rules, don't get me wrong, but it is quite evident with the call-outs and the play field. If you were to see that game on location, I don't think you'd waste too much money in learning the rules. There are some that are more obvious, but I think you'd get there pretty quickly. I think if you played fishtails and you were playing fishtails for 10-15 minutes, I think you'd have most of the rules sort of nailed down. Maybe not all the complexities that you might wish to use if you're playing it in a competition, but that's a different kettle of fish. Anyway, achievable goals, I think it's quite tough. I'm not sure all the goals are achievable on it actually. But that's okay. It keeps you coming back for more. It has got that one more game factor to it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful game. Is it rewarding? Is it frustrating? If you know how to play pinball, it's rewarding. I just don't find it frustrating at all. I do understand if you were just somebody walking in on location to an arcade and you had, just one coin to put in a game and you put it in there, you may even feel that you'd been ripped off. You may well put that coin in that machine and you didn't know anything about it. You'd lose the 3 balls pretty quickly and think, what have I done? I've just wasted my time there. So, and I'm not sure it gives you enough encouragement that you would come back for more. But actually, I think almost the opposite of Attack from Mars, which again is a tough game, but I think there's enough in it where even if you're just playing it for the first time, you'll probably hit the targets, which will then reveal the saucer. You'll probably hit the saucer at least once, which will make it shake. And then you'll probably get the fact that you've almost destroyed it, which will make you get another coin out your pocket and put it in there. So I think it can be frustrating fishtails, but it is, if you know how to play a little bit, then it's just an incredibly rewarding and incredibly fun game. Do I regret it leaving? As much as you regret any game leaving. That last section in the sort of judging criteria, if you want, is more turns to do I regret it leaving? Do I regret it leaving? Is turned to do I miss it? And I do miss it. I do miss Fishtails. Fishtails is, I think, one of the best pinball machines ever made. And I think I'm on pretty safe ground by saying that. I would be. I'm not going to give anything else away, am I? I'm going to walk over there and I'm going to pop it on the board now. So let's take a look at where Fishtails is going to go on that list. You should all hopefully know the process by now. If this is the first time you've watched one of these videos in this series, where have you been? There's 7 more to watch before this one. This will be a bit of a spoiler, really. Anyway, Fishtails, let's go through it. Better than Popeye, yes. Ghostbusters, yes. Judge Dredd, yes. Medieval Madness, yes. You knew that was coming though, right? You did know I was going to do that. Avengers Infinity Quest, yes. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm apologising. Now it gets interesting. Would I prefer a World Cup Soccer or a Fishtails? Forget price, take cost out of it. Because otherwise we're just going to pick Medieval Madness every time, aren't we? We're just going to pick a Medieval Madness, Cactus Canyon, remake, whatever. There's no way you can compare a £3,000 pinball machine to one that costs £10,000, for instance. Forget price. World Cup Soccer or Fishtails? I'm going Fishtails. We're into some good games here. Champion Pub or Fishtails? Oh! I'm going to go Fishtails. Elvira's, okay, let's get it. Okay, Attack from Mars or Fishtails, Attack from Mars. That's easy, okay? That's done. I just need to maybe create a little bit of wriggle room here. They're quite well magnetised. These funny that they're magnets. Anyway, let's just move these guys down here. So the only question is whether this goes above Elvira's House of Horrors. This is tough. This is hard. Hey, look, we haven't done this list because it's easy. We've done this list because it's hard, as John F. Kennedy once said. Not, he doesn't talk about my list. I think he was talking about space travel. But anyway, the list is just as hard as going to the moon. I digress. I'm stalling for time. Whoa. What do you... Any ideas? What do you think? This is going well, this part of the video. Oh, I don't know. Do you know what? It doesn't matter because we've got Mark's idea. I can change it all around in a sort of refresh video and sort of looking at the 10 I've done already. For the purposes of this video, Fishtails is going above Elvira's House of Horrors. There you go. Look at that. Wow. They knew how to make games back then. I'll give them that. Look at that. Look at the top 5. There's only... and I was traditionally, I think, a bit of a Stern fanboy, really. So I've got 3 Sterns. I've got a Foo Fighter. I've got 4 Sterns. I've got a Foo Fighters. I've got a Godzilla. I've got Deadpool. I've got Batman 66. I don't even have a WPC game. But look at my list. Something very wrong here, isn't there? Anyway, there you go. You heard it here first. Well, you probably didn't. Probably heard it off of other people as well. But that's my list there. Attack from Mars first. Fishtails is second. Poor old Popeye. Popeye's not going to finish last. There's a spoiler for you. Anyway. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you'd be so kind to subscribe, that'd be magnificent. If you have already subscribed and you want to help the channel out even more, just sharing it on your social media does it a massive help. Something to do with backlinks, apparently. Anyway, thank you very much for your help. I'll catch up with you next time.